Hello people. I've been really wanting to do this video for a long time now, and yeah, there are more better places to buy video games. And the video game stores I'm actually talking about and the brands I am talking about is EB Games, GameStop and JB Hi. And well, they sell their games and video games very expensive, especially new releases for video games. JB Hi is a Australian brand. GameStop is an American brand. EB Games is a American and Australian brand in Australia too, and in America too, and I think in Canada. Yeah, well, who cares? Well, the story why I'm talking about this, I'm talking about my experience of buying things. Well, it practically started around about the PS3 era. Um, it was another game brand back in the days called Games. Um, yeah, now they're you know no longer exist no more. Um, well, they tried to sell me Red Dead Redemption very expensive. Forgot how much it cost, but it was very expensive. But I do remember how much Red Dead Redemption cost in Big W, and it was like $79 in Big W, and yeah, and I brought it, cheaper. And what I did with the rest of the money, I went to McDonald's in the mall and, you know, brought a game for a cheaper price, like $79, and brought, takeaway for myself. Win win, you know. Um, because I don't really remember the price range, what games was selling Red Dead Redemption for. Don't really remember the price range, but where I learnt this, this experience from, is from my mother and from my uncle Ed, and they taught me, find bargains, find a bargain, and there are more better places out there to buy video games. From my experience, independent game stores and hawk shops, and I can say Big W. Big W doesn't really price gouge you. Well, the story about that, um, I brought Space Marines 2 for like, I think $89, and EB Games were selling that for like a hundred something dollars. That's all I can say. And I actually saved my money a lot. And I saved my money a lot. And not just that too. Even go on eBay. Sometimes eBay always have special deals like going on in there too. I haven't really checked with Amazon, like, you know how how cheap their games on there is, but there are more better places to go to buy video games. To buy cheaper games, and especially like new releases. Like, see, you're saving a certain percentage when you buy, like, when the shops I normally go and buy my new releases, I usually go to Big W, and they have more reasonable price there. When I went in there to buy Space Marines not too long ago, Space Marines 2, it was like $89, brand new copy, and EB Games and JB Hi were selling it for like a hundred something dollars. Like, it was ridiculous, and I saved a little bit of percentage of my money. And and usually when I buy like games, sorry about that, um, I usually go price hunting um, on eBay, and sometimes these independent, because I buy some, well, practically I actually do buy some of my like, well, older games. I usually buy them from an independent game shop down in Victoria, and I buy it from, well, because they own their own eBay account where they sell their own merchandise. And I did brought a Laserdisc from them. Yeah, I did, and it was very cheap too. Um, yeah, like yeah, like there are more better places to go to buy video games. Like I'm telling you people right now, stop going to these big, massive, you know, game brands to buy your brand new video games. Like there are more better places out there. Like I don't know about America, like, you know, like look around, just, do your own reconnaissance, like check what's cheaper and what's not cheap and everything else. Like it's more better to be that way, because you don't want to break your bank. Because the thing about EB Games and JB Hi in my country, they're like the price gouger, very much so. And I stopped going there for a long time. I haven't been in one to buy a video game for like so many years. I usually buy on eBay, go to Big W to buy new releases, copies. And the thing is, right, I actually brought, well, not too long ago, I brought Resident Evil, no, the remake ones, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, and I brought them for like, and they were basically the same price, and they were like 40 $49 each. That, no, well, $49 each for two of them games, and I got them for a bargain. That was a bargain. And I checked in EB Games, and they were like selling them for like something like $60 to $70. It was like a joke. And I went into my, well, practically I usually go into Big W a lot to buy my video games, and I always say to Big W, they always sell their games for a reasonable price, and I always put a big thumbs up for them too, because at least they don't scalp you, when buying a game from them. At least you're not breaking your bank when you're buying a game from them, especially when you go to hock shops and stuff like that. And the thing is, right, I actually brought, this was ages ago, I really wanted to get the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game, and they were selling it in EB Games, and I didn't. I only walked in there and walked back out, and never really went in there to buy it. And they were selling that game for like $60 something, and you know how much I got it for in a hock shop, brand new, still in its wrapper? $20. See, it's good to hunt. It's good to hunt video games, for reasonable price video games. You don't have to get these glorious, collector's editions from all these, like, EB Games and GameStop and JB Hi. You don't have to get these glorified things. Just get the standard copy for the game, and that's it. And you're good to go. And find that standard copy for a cheap price. You don't have to buy something luxurious and like lavish and everything else, and beautiful and everything else. Just buy the standard copy, because at least you're not breaking your bank. At least you can buy other things on top of that too. And this is just my personal advice for people. And if you, sorry, it's about to end. See ya, bye.